Jacques Cousteau, The Fight to Conserve Our Waters. Because of Jacques Cousteau's campaign gaining so many supporters, women and children staged a sit-in on the tracks of the train carrying the nuclear waste to the dump site, and it was forced to leave. Years later, because of Jacques Cousteau's campaign and many others, dumping nuclear waste into the sea was banned. Jacques Cousteau was born in Saint-André-de-Cubzac, France. Jacques Cousteau co-invented the aqualung with Emile Guénon in 1943 and invented the Conserve 1, 2, and 3 in 1960.
In 1960, February 13th, France conducted their first nuclear bomb test called Jacques Blue in the Sahara Desert. Charles de Gaulle was the president of France during that time. France's nuclear weapon was powered by nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is made when uranium or plutonium, unstable isotopes, are surrounded by TNT. When it ignites, the uranium can't escape from inside because the explosion is too dense. Jacques Blue was so toxic that the Algerians are still badly impacted today. Atomic energy officials and oceanographers held a meeting to discuss the impact of dumping nuclear waste into the waters of France, Britain, and the U.S. in 1959. The oceanographers said that dumping large amounts of waste into the ocean could be dangerous because there was not enough knowledge to know what the effects could be. Nuclear waste is the outcome of nuclear fission. The testing of Jacques Blue created a large amount of nuclear waste. The French government and the CEA, Atomic Energy Commission, needed a way to get rid of it and could see two possible options: to bury it underground or to dump it into the Mediterranean Sea. The CEA decided to dump the waste into the Mediterranean Sea, despite the oceanographers' opinions, because they thought the public might not be as concerned. 2,000 tons of nuclear waste, along with other materials, were being planned to be dumped. The dump site seemed great to the CEA. It was located between Calvi and the towns of Antibes. It had deep waters and no known current.
But there were many dangers of what they were about to do. If the waste leaks out of the containers, it can cause cancerous growths or genetic problems for many generations of plants and animals. The biggest effect that can harm the human body is when it is exposed to radiation. This can cause cancer and changes in DNA. Waste spreading into areas can contaminate waters such as rivers, lakes, oceans, etc. Drinking water can also be contaminated too, which causes even more situations which humans can get seriously ill. Not disposing of nuclear waste properly can have huge environmental impacts that can harm many millions of animals and hundreds of animal species. When the oceanographers saw the newspapers, they were furious. They claimed they had no knowledge whatsoever of the CEA's plans. Vsevolod Romanovsky, an oceanographer, had recommended they do a small dumping of about 10 drums as an experiment, but the CEA had other ideas. They had planned to dump 6,400 drums.
The CEA's plan to dump nuclear waste into the Mediterranean came into the newspapers in 1960. They stated it would be completely harmless. even if all the drums spilled, which was very unlikely. The CEA even said that they had the oceanographers' support. Oceanographer Jacques Cousteau was especially angry with the event. He disagreed with the idea of the dumping being completely harmless. No one had actually seen that there was no current under the water in the dump site. Cousteau dove with his team and took some underwater pictures of the dump site, which proved that there was indeed current down there.
Jacques Cousteau made a newspaper article and made sure that everyone knew that the oceanographers had no idea about the CEA's plans and did not support them. It is a clean power source and full of possibilities, but as long as we're dealing with waste that we do not know how to handle, we should not pursue it. Jacques-Yves Cousteau. The public was now very concerned. Francis Perrin, the head of the CEA, assured them that everything was fine, but the public was still supporting the oceanographers. Things were not looking good for the CEA.
On the day of the dumping, Jacques Cousteau and the rest of the oceanographers had gained enough support to stage a sit-in on the tracks of the train carrying the nuclear waste. Many women and children sat on the tracks and the train was forced to leave. In 1973, Jacques Cousteau founded the Cousteau Society for the Protection of Ocean Life. It is an organization that is still active today and aims to teach people about our oceans and their ecosystems.
Jacques Cousteau was an inspiration to the world. He stood up against the French government and showed people that they could make a difference in this world. Thanks to his campaign and many others around the world, dumping nuclear waste into the ocean is now illegal. There had been so many people campaigning against it for so long that countries got together and created the London Dumping Convention. It was a document that could stop everyone from dumping nuclear waste into the ocean. Quickly, 37 countries approved it and dumping nuclear waste into the sea was banned.
In 1997, Jacques Cousteau unfortunately died of a heart attack. A lot of people attack the ocean. I make love to it. Jacques-Yves Cousteau.